Let's review your practice test here. Don't forget your name. Very important. On question number 2, whoops, I don't know, I put practice test there. It's your name. Okay, in question number 2, we want to make a conjecture given that the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle B and B equals C. I would say by the transitive property A equals C would be a perfect conjecture. You could also say angle A is congruent to angle C. That would be a valid conjecture too. Contrapositive for number 2. When they say contrapositive, we flip it and take the negation. So it should be if two angles are not congruent, then they are not supplementary to the same angle. That would be your contrapositive. Use the law of detachment for number 3. The swim team practiced on Saturday. Matt's on the swim team. And since he's on the swim team, they practice on Saturday. I would say Matt has practice on Saturday. On number 4, we want to use the law of syllogism. In the law of syllogism, remember, we go from the first to the last with conditional statements. So I'm looking for like A implies B, B implies C, therefore A implies C. That's your law of syllogism. It says, if x plus 10 equals 4, then x equals 4. If x equals 4, then x squared equals 16. So we're going to go from the first to the last. If x plus 6 equals 10, then x squared equals 16. And number 5, we have this proof. Well, we have to fill in the parts of it. Let's go from the beginning. We're told and are given that A is perpendicular to B, and EFG and CVD are complementary. Therefore, since we know they're perpendicular, we know angle ABD is a right angle because we know perpendicular lines form a right angle. We also can say that ABD is 90 degrees because that's the definition of a right angle. Then we can say the measure of angle ABC plus the measure of angle CBD equals the measure of angle ABD. Notice that's what's going on in my first part here. When we add two parts up to equal the whole, that's your angle addition postulate. That's the one you had to fill in. Then instead of writing ABD, we're going to write 90 degrees because ABD equals 90. When you write something instead of something else, that's substitution. And then we can say angle ABC and CBD are complementary because that's the definition of complementary angles, is the fact they add to 90. Then I'm going to compare my given, which is EFG and CBD are complementary, and my second to last, ABC and CBD are complementary. Notice they both have a CBD in them, don't they? So that tells me angle EFG is congruent to angle ABC by the congruent complements theorem.